Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Toya T. I just wanted to start off by talking about this great show and talking about episode 1, which is Insecure as Fuck. And I love that title. I love that they're able to use this because it's on HBO. And so I feel like this show is absolutely great in the way that HBO has been promoting this show and all the stuff that it's been doing to make sure that people are watching and it gets the amount of support, the same amount of support and promotion as it does for Game of Thrones and what else is on HBO, like whatever was on HBO when they used to have Sex in the City and True Blood and all these other things. I think these are all on HBO, right? Anyway, I love that it's getting the same amount of attention, especially since this is a show that stars and is written by and is a vehicle of a young black woman writer, producer, writer. And so episode 1, let me talk about some of the things. Let's just talk about the episode in general and what I loved about it. Maybe first let's talk about what happened in the episode. So the episode, of course, is the first episode. It pretty much gives you an overview of what we're going to be watching for the rest of the season. We first are introduced to the city of LA, particularly not the glitzy and the glamour LA, not the ones that that you might find in other shows where everything is just people are living in apartments that don't make no sense for their income, and they're only showing the shiny, Hollywood parts of it. This is taped in and based in South Central Los Angeles or South Los Angeles, which I am semi-familiar with because I did live on the West Coast for a bit in California. And so I got a chance to kind of get to know some of these areas because that's where a lot of the black restaurants and stores and businesses were. So I got a chance, a friend introduced me to it. Shout out to my friend Damien, my LA buddy. But anyway, it introduces you to that LA. It shows off Slauson Avenue and it goes into this public elementary school. I think it's called Frederick Douglass Elementary, where Issa, our main character, is there with her job, and she's a part of a nonprofit organization that works with these public schools and these underrepresented kids, underserved kids, and tries to provide them whatever services that they need outside of the school system. And so she's doing this presentation, and I love that. First of all, I absolutely love that the classroom is filled with what LA and major cities look like, what classrooms and public schools look like, a whole ethnically diverse classroom, especially with something that's called Frederick Douglass classroom in South LA. And of course it's black, kids, it's Latino kids, it's, some Asian kids too. And the teacher is an Asian male, which you never, ever, ever, ever see on television, except for now. Not even on the Asian television shows that we have now, which is only 2, which is Dr. Ken and one of my favorite shows, Fresh Off the Boat. Even there, we don't have it. So here we have a Asian male teacher, and she's there with her colleague doing this presentation, and the kids are just being kids. They are joking, and the kind of atmosphere that happens when you have a substitute teacher, and so the kids just are playing around with the teacher. They're not listening. They're asking stupid questions and joking and trying to get underneath their skin. And so they're asking her things like, why is your hair natural and short? Why are you single? My father said that like black women are angry and that's why they ain't married. And it's just all these crazy things. One little girl offered to get her cousin to do a sew-in for Issa, which is so real. Like, kids will say stuff like this. I am a teacher. I know. I mean, I don't teach elementary kids, but students will say stuff just to see if they can get a rise out of your reaction. And so I absolutely love that she was still doing her presentation, and then even at a point when they were really getting to her, she was like, let me be real with you. Like, I'm college educated. I work at this job because, I love to work with people, and it was a good opportunity out of college. And, I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years and all this other stuff. It's like all these things that these kids are trying to get, to underneath her skin. And she kind of revealed it. And I just love that it showed that, you know, we don't always have all our things together. Sometimes we have these breaks. Sometimes we have professional breaks, personal breaks. And I love that she did that. She seemed so real. And so we had that scene that introduces to our main character, and then moved into her best friend Molly, who is a successful young Black female attorney at what looks like a pretty large law firm. I mean, like not super large, but it seemed like a successful law firm. They seem to be doing a lot of litigation, and she's very successful there. They were praising her on some of the things that she's been able to do, and they talk about how people love her at her job, people respect her, but her problem is that, like most late 20s, early 30s women who are educated and seem to have it all going on, there's that one aspect of her life that's just not working, which is her love life. And she's talking to her office mate about, you know, this guy that she met, and they went a couple of dates, and he's texting her, and she's like, oh, he said, hey, and she tries to call him back, and of course he immediately sends her a text message saying, I can't talk. And then he went into, she said, I just want to hear your voice. And he said, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, sad face. And it was just like awkward. And who has not? I mean, I feel like I've received text messages like that, or just that kind of posturing from a guy when you're just trying to work on that part of your life, trying to find a life partner, trying to date, trying to, you know, do all the things that people say that you're supposed to be doing when you know, after you've gotten your education, gotten a job, gotten yourself settled. It's like, where's the rest of it? Because everyone's always looking for the rest of it. And so it was just great to see that you know, she has this issue with it, and especially since her office mate, this young Asian woman, is dating a Black guy, and she's like, of course, you know, that why is it that, you know, she's dating and I can't date, and, you know, Black men are going outside of their race and, you know, doing all the other stuff, and she's just talking like real talk about her issues with just men and dating in your late 20s, early 30s, and trust me, this is my life. I have videos on my dating experience, and it's just not any different. So it's just what I love. I can see myself in both of these two characters. And so the episode continues. It's Issa's birthday, and she's not having a party. She doesn't really feel like going out and, you know, and doing all that stuff. She turned 29, and so she decided just to hang out. And she comes home with her boyfriend, who we meet, who is the stereotypical dreamer, the kind of guy that's always got the business plan but doesn't have the business, and is not even working while working on his business plan. So he's just sitting in the house in sweats, and he hasn't shaved in what looks like months, because he got that scruff, and the hair he hasn't gone to the barber. He's not even putting any work in. And she comes home, he says, happy birthday. And she thinks they're going out, and he pulls out like a regular Friday activity. Let's go to Redbox and get some takeout and chill at home for her birthday. It's like, hello, like it doesn't take much. A walk in the park, actually going to the movies, like something. But she was expecting it, and she was so disappointed. And then she ends up going out, deciding to go out with Molly. And she's going, well, before that, she had dinner with Molly, and she talks about, which is what I love. I just love this show so much. She goes out to dinner with Molly at this African restaurant. You can tell because they're talking about, you can see the oils, and it's like it really looks like you're inside one of these kind of like urban African, like small, like restaurants. Maybe it's Ethiopian or something. It looks like they were eating with their hands. Which is great. It's not like a fancy restaurant. It was like, it seems so real, like in the neighborhood. And so she's, you know, Issa's talking about her issues with what happened at work with the kids. And then Molly tells her about her issues with, you know, her dating life, and the guy saying sad face. And Issa says something that just sounds so like what me and my friends talk about. She said, girlfriend, maybe your pussy's broken. You have a broken pussy. And just meaning like maybe there, you know, you are feeling frustrated and sad because your female radar, your female part is so depressed by all of the wrong men that have been coming in its direction. And maybe it's even, you know, deflecting other other people. Maybe it's a pheromone that's coming out and saying, you know, I'm so mad, get away. But I just thought that was so hilarious. It's the funniest thing I ever heard ever. And it just sounded like something that I would say, or one of my friends would say, or we would joke about on like a group chat or something, or at dinner or brunch. And so I just love that part. But going back to Issa's birthday. So she, of course, it's her birthday, and they introduced Facebook on there too. I love it. So she gets a Facebook message from this guy that she was kind of feeling, I guess, in college before she started dating her boyfriend. And he says, I miss you. And she's like, you know, in that place where she kind of responds to it like, oh, always. It's always like that. When you are in a certain place, either you're really happy and it's an ex that comes back up and tries to fuck up your life, or it's like when you're in a low and there's that guy you were kind of feeling and he's like throwing out the feelers at you. And so she was responding, and she's checking on his Facebook page, and she notices that he's going to be at this open mic night at a club. And so she gets Molly to go with her without her knowing. She doesn't tell her that the guy's going to be there, so she can get the kind of pop up like, oh, I didn't know you were going to be here. I just came to, Molly made me come here. And so she meets up with the guy at the club, and it is like the open mic part is just crazy. And so the guy kind of talks Issa into, she's feeling their flirt, and he's buying her drinks, and he gets her to go up stage and do a freestyle, and she raps about broken pussy, and it's just hilarious. I love when Issa does things like that. She did it on her YouTube series, The Adventures of Awkward Black Girl. She's done it with another series she had, which was Masterpiece Theater, where she rapped ratchet songs. And here she's like talking about broken pussy. Maybe it's really stank. Maybe it's like, like all these things. And everyone's feeling it except for, of course, Molly. And she's talking to a guy, and she's like, I can't believe that she's talking about me. She's talking about me right here, making fun of me in front of everybody. And of course, the guy walks away, and it's like, Molly, why would you say that? But I can understand Molly, and I can also understand Issa, because I feel like I'm one of those friends that we would have joked about it, and I would have brought it up later and not mentioned your name, but I'm talking about you. And not to be malicious, but just to be funny, or it just came out. And so I absolutely love that part. And so after that, of course, Molly's mad, and her and Issa are trying to work it out in the car and talking, and Issa's not paying attention because she's getting the text messages from Cutie Whoop Whoop from Facebook. And so Molly gets out the car and goes to her apartment, and Issa goes and meets up with her Facebook boo. And of course, at first he's like, come through, it's late. And he gets in the car, he starts kissing on her, and she all of a sudden remembers, like, oh my gosh, I have a boyfriend, like, I can't do this, like, I'm not ready for a relationship. And of course he drops the line on her, I'm not interested in anything serious. And she's like, whoop, wait, stop. Like, this is not even worth, breaking up with my boyfriend or doing something I'll regret over somebody who's not even trying to be serious. So he gets out, and she realizes, what she's done. And she goes over to Molly's place with, some chips and some dip or some ranch, because, ranch tastes good on everything. And so she comes over and she apologizes. I'm sorry, girl. I'm an ass, and, please forgive me. And she does something that's so awesome, that makes it so grounded, so real, basing it, got all these like Black female cultural references, and she starts singing the theme from the TV show Girlfriends, and Molly cracks a smile and lets her in, and the episode ends. And then, so I just love this show because it's absolutely real. It talks about, the whole premise of the show and the way they've been advertising and promoting it is that it's about young Black females that, we see all these images of strong, put together Black females on Scandal, or being Mary Jane, on Blackish, on, whatever show, the Cosby Show, and all those other places. And, these are the young women that don't have it all together. And I can, they're insecure. They don't know what they're doing. They're flawed. They aren't wearing the fancy clothes. They are dressing within their budget and living in things that make sense. They're driving the regular, Honda or Nissan. They're not driving a BMW in the newest, whatever advertiser's car that they're driving. You're like, how are you driving this new car when you definitely don't make enough money for that. And so I love that. It reminds me of myself. It's very much connected to, if you know me and if you follow me, I have my own blog called figureoutyourlifeblog.com, where I talk about how I'm trying to figure it out myself. I've been spending 33 years trying to figure out my life, and I don't see it stopping, because we always are evolving as human beings. We're not perfect. We're not magic. As much as I love my Black girl magic, there's a lot of stuff about me that is not magical. And I love this about Issa and Molly, and I just look forward to seeing the rest of the series. If you guys like this review, let me know. What did you think of the first episode? And if you haven't watched it, please go check it out. It's on HBO. It's on Sundays at 10:30, and I'm going to be putting up these recaps and reviews every Monday after the episodes, the day after the episodes, to let you know what's going on. So I'll see you guys later. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you guys later, my girlfriends.